Sometimes we don't heal, we just get used to the pain. It's like learning to walk while carrying a weight. The pain becomes a part of us, and we adapt to it. Friedrich Nietzsche said, "What doesn't kill me makes me stronger," but this strength isn't always about being tough, it's about learning to coexist with our inner cracks. Pain can be a teacher, a reminder that we're alive and that there's something inside us that's moving, even if it's just a wound. Soren Kierkegaard said, "Life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards." This means that pain doesn't disappear until we look at it from a distance. But sometimes, this distance never comes, and we have to live with the pain, making temporary homes out of its walls. Imagine a soldier returning from war, unable to sleep, hearing the sounds of battles in the silence. But they still go to work and smile at their colleagues. This isn't healing, it's training to carry the shadows. We're like people wearing tight clothes. At first, it's suffocating, but then we get used to it, and it changes the shape of our bodies slowly. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius said, "If the pain is bearable, endure it. If it's unbearable, it will end." But he didn't say that what ends outside also ends inside. Pain might end in reality, but its impact remains like the smell of smoke after a big fire. Getting used to pain is like an unwritten agreement between us and the wound. You stay, and I'll live. In societies that have gone through wars and famines, people laugh a lot, but laughter isn't the absence of sorrow, it's a mask that lightens the burden. Fyodor Dostoevsky said, "Man is accustomed to everything. If we didn't get used to pain, we'd break. But this doesn't mean we're okay. It means we've found a way not to collapse openly." We're like actors who master their roles so well that they forget they're on stage, but when they come down, they realize the makeup only hid their wounds. Sometimes we heal, but often we don't. What happens is that we change our definition of healing, and we call coexistence healing. We write in our diaries that we've moved on, but the truth is we've just learned to live without touching the wound. Albert Camus said, "In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer." Maybe this summer isn't warmth, it's getting used to the cold. When we lose someone or a dream, we discover a gap in our hearts, and at first, we try to fill it, then we realize it'll stay, so we walk around it. In this walking, we learn new ways of existence, even if they're slower and more painful. Pain becomes part of our identity, changing our view of the world, the way we love, fear, and hope. With time, we don't know ourselves without this pain, and we fear healing because it means losing part of us. Sometimes we cling to our pains like we cling to old things that are no longer useful but remind us of a bygone era. In the end, we might not know if getting used to pain is defeat or victory, but it's at least a way to stay alive when healing is far away. And so we walk, carrying our wounds like the sea carries its waves. They don't disappear, but they become part of its eternal rhythm. When we live with pain for a long time, we become strangers to ourselves as we were before it. We meet a face in the mirror that resembles us but isn't exactly us. Time in this case doesn't heal, it teaches. It's like every day adds a thin layer of dust to our memory, so the picture doesn't disappear, but it becomes less clear. Getting used to pain is like learning a new language, a silent language that the heart speaks to itself. Those who have lost loved ones know that longing doesn't decrease, but it changes shape. It becomes quieter and less loud but deeper. We become less tearful and more silent, as if we're saving our tears for something unknown. The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer said that life swings between pain and boredom, and getting used to one is a way to protect ourselves from the other. But when we get used to pain, we might become unable to feel joy fully because joy is like a language we've forgotten its letters. Perhaps that's why some people feel anxious when things are going well, because they're waiting for pain to return, like waiting for winter after a short summer. Deep down, we know that pain is part of our existence conditions, and erasing it completely is an illusion no one lives. But this doesn't stop us from searching for small areas of warmth, even if temporary, like sunlight breaking through heavy clouds. The paradox is that getting used to pain might make us more capable of seeing beauty because we don't take it for granted. Sometimes, getting used to pain is like carrying a stone in our pocket.